Rony Robinson.
BBC Radio Sheffield.
Ah, that lovely cat. Meanwhile, yesterday he was on a fool's errand trying to get round the 58 herd of Sheffield elephants. Today we've given our reporter Andy Kershaw another sculpture-related challenge. We've sent him in search of green men. Where are you, Andy? And can you explain to the listeners what you're up to today?
Yes, good morning, Ronnie. I'm at Ulley Country Park. It's a hive of activity. There's canoeing and raft building and floating on the lake here. But I'm here to follow a trail of a different kind today because I'm meeting an artist, Paul Casson-Yardley, and his wife, Susie, who've been carving some of those pagan fertility symbols all around this wonderful country park. And I'm going to be taking a tour with him, just talking about what the Green Man means and why he's doing it and how he's doing it.
Wonderful.
Rony Robinson.
BBC Radio Sheffield.
On BBC Radio Sheffield, I'm Rony. Yesterday, he was following the herd. This morning, our reporter Andy Kershaw is on another sculpture trail, but this time it's in Rotherham, and he's not looking for elephants today. He's looking for green men. He's been to Ulley Country Park to meet the Rotherham-based sculptor Paul Casson-Yardley, who's been hiding green men around the park. But why?
Basically, Green Man has been around for 2 millennia. It's an old Roman sort of thing. You see him on buildings, churches, and other secular buildings, and all around the countryside. And he's been around such a long time. He could be Robin Hood, he could be Robin Goodfellow, he could be Puck, he could be John Barleycorn, any number of those from English culture, tradition and folklore. So that's basically, nobody knows actually who he is. That's the enigma of it. Yeah.
And there's a pagan fertility symbol, isn't it, Susie? You see a lot of green men in sort of Christian churches, don't you?
Absolutely, yes. He's a very old spirit, but he's got this sort of mischievous, naughty side to him. So he's a symbol of growth and spring and freshness, isn't he?
And have you carved them into the tree or carved them and put them on the tree?
They're carved and they've been put on the tree. They're made of Portland stone and a few other secret materials, only unknown to us.
Wonderful. And how many are there around the lake?
We can't possibly tell you, Andy. It's a secret.
It's a secret, is it?
Yeah,
so
some people have spotted them all. Yeah, but we're going to add to it as well. So it's actually turned out a little bit more challenging as a challenge than we expected. But you need to keep your eyes really peeled to find them.
It's aimed at everybody. I think all ages, really. You get a lot of dog walkers and you get pensioners, in fact all ages on here, joggers, and it's something for them to see rather than just looking down at the ground all the time or texting on the mobile phone. It gives an opportunity to look up and see something a little bit different.
I gather Ian Macmillan's involved in this somehow.
Yes, we're setting up a challenge sheet and we're going to invite people to write poems, stories and draw pictures, and Ian Macmillan's going to write us a poem about the Green Man, which is very exciting.
And where did you get your inspiration from? Because there are different representations of the Green Man. There's one winking with a bit of a sinister smile, there's one just smiling, and there's one kind of that looks a little bit scary.
All over, just you see things when you're out, designs in wood. Sometimes you see a knot in a tree wood, and it somehow has a face or a mouth or some sort of humanistic features or animal features. And from a sketch, they're one-dimensional. I get inspiration from that and change into 2, then 3-dimensional.
And where did your commission come from?
We just decided to do it because we live here and Paul's from here and he used to teach in Rotherham. We just thought it would be really nice and we love Ulley.
Yeah.
So you've actually donated them,
it's to enhance Ulley Reservoir and the visitor experience here.
Indeed, yes.
Yeah. And have you done it before, this kind of thing?
We have. We started one in Belper in Derbyshire and we're moving on to Thryburgh Country Park. So we've got a few up and down the country, again in fairly secretive locations. They're always there, it's for people to find them really.
Do they win a prize of some kind if they get...
Well, we've got the challenge sheet that we're just working on at the moment, and we're going to have a gallery, a Green Man gallery at Thryburgh. If people are inspired to draw or write a poem, we're going to do a big display of those. So.
And what have you got out of doing this then, Paul?
It's just the fact that Green Man's been around for a long, long, long time, BC, and it's good to get him out in all his guises and in the public. People say, oh, what is that? I think people know it from somewhere deep inside the psyche. They've seen it before, in children's books maybe, or they've seen it on TV, and then they see someone's face sculpting. Oh yeah, I remember that from somewhere. So it has a tremendous life force of its own.
And there are plans for a theatre here. I didn't know if you know.
No.
An outdoor theatre.
Marvellous.
Yes.
Well, there we are then, Rony. The Green Man Trail around Ulley Country Park and the reservoir. They won't give away exactly how many there are.
But he found most of them, I suspect. Paul Casson-Yardley, the sculptor, and Susie as well. They're with the Green Men and with our man, Andy Kershaw.